Welcome everybody. Today's art business webinar. My name is Patrick. I run the marketing department here. Super fired up to have all of you guys today. What are the purpose of these sessions? Why do we do these sessions? What is sort of the agenda today? I might as well kick it off there. Somehow you got drawn into our ecosystem and you're likely wondering, who are these guys? Do they know what the heck they're talking about? Why do they send so many emails? Why is pricing not on the website? I don't understand what they do. And that's usually because we're bad at our marketing and our web pages sucks. So what we try to do is have a session like this where it's like, okay, stop sending me emails. I don't want to read any blog posts. I want to talk to a real human being and find out if you guys can actually help me. So that's sort of the purpose of today's session. Being that I run the marketing department, I usually like to rant about something marketing related, and then we go right into the Q&A process after the fact, and you can ask anything about anything. Been doing this for a little bit over 10 years. We have a little bit over 10,000 customers now. I get to see all of their data, meaning who's selling the most originals, most expensive originals, what media types, what sizes, what are the marketing sources that are driving that business, who has huge businesses, who doesn't, what's working. So I feel like I have a unique combination of knowledge from doing it a while and then the actual real data that I can answer some questions and say some things conclusively. Like, I've never seen anyone that markets on Pinterest make a dime selling their art. Just haven't seen it. So you don't need to waste any time on Pinterest, right? I make a lot of opinionated calls like that, and I don't apologize for any of them because we try to make our customers as successful as possible. Before I forget, up top, one of the things that we've been doing recently is, we're constantly marketing and we've got the podcast and, we're constantly streaming and doing all this stuff. Okay, great. One of the things I don't think we've done enough of is because we've been in business for as long as we have some folks that I would consider to be in the top 1% of artists and photographers that are selling in the United States, maybe in the world currently, as customers. And I started interviewing some of those folks. I just started last week with the first one. And the first one I did is with a kid named Jonah. I'm going to throw the link into the chat. What is all this other gobbledygook on the link? It's in the chat. I think you guys should click that, save that. I'll try to remember to email it to you after the fact. 29-year-old kid, started 4 years ago. Seriously, 4 years ago anyway. And now he's selling $100,000 for this photography a month, which is just a really, really amazing story. And so I interviewed him. Kind of did a Zoom session just like this one, actually. Where interviewed him. I'm going to see if I can pull this thing up so I can show it. Do I have it up? Oh, come on. Why do my children just screw with every single solitary button on this thing? Hold on, guys. I apologize. Is that going to do it? Oh, good. That does it. So this is what I sent you the link to. And in here there's a video that's like his artist statement, that covers, it's like basically like a fancy artist statement, like a bio. Some of his work. This interview that we did, I interviewed him for like an hour, and then there's another video on here how he got his art into a ritzy hotel in Florida, and then the final one is like Q&A where I basically invited a bunch of people on to just ask him whatever questions, and he answered them. The reason I bring it up is because you do not see ordinarily kids that's like as polished as he is. At that age anyway. The fact that he's doing all that at 29 is just crazy to me. So anyway, there's a link for that, or if you guys subscribe to the podcast, you can find it that way. But what we'll do is I'll just rant for a few minutes, talk about the website thing, play you a short video, and then we'll get right into the Q&A, which is the best part. I've been running these webinars 3 days a week for essentially, I don't know, like 6 months, 3 months before the pandemic started. And I've had the chance to talk to probably, I don't know, 10s, 20s, 30,000 artists and photographers, every stripe imaginable, all throughout COVID, all after the fact, all my customers. And I'm sort of firmly ensconced in a position in today's day and age that there's really only two ways to make it as an artist or a photographer, and depending on how you define success. And let's just say, throw out a number, $100,000 a year in gross sales, right? Let's say there's three ways to make it, okay? Yes, you can do that with the gallery model. The odds of an artist or a photographer achieving that with the gallery model is less than 1% of the total artists and photographers that try to get into a gallery. If you're selling $100,000 gross in a gallery per year, you take a 50% haircut, you're left with $50,000 minus your expenses, your art, your studio, your rent, your materials, your supplies, your trips. You triple that number, let's make it a little bit rosier of a picture, and you're selling $300,000 gross a year in a gallery. That means you're taking home $150,000 minus expenses you're probably above six figures. I think it's less than 0.1% of the people that are in galleries that are even making that. And it's okay to be honest about that, right? Like that's okay. That's just what it is. That is that world. And when you understand that's world, it's like the odds of you making it with that as your sole revenue source is kind of like the odds you playing a sport versus you making it to the big leagues, or somebody that we know that plays golf versus the professional golfers that we know, or insert whatever sport you want. And I don't think enough people are honest about that, because everyone runs around, and I realize like that's kind of been the paradigm, right? I'm going to be an artist. I want to have a great deal of success. I really just want to create and not have to do anything else, right? That's the dirty little secret of it all. I'm just going to create, and I'm going to have this huge business without doing anything. Fantasy island there. No chance. So, okay, that's a gallery model, right? And don't get me wrong. In this business, whether it's you guys or my customers, I have never met a revenue source for the business, as long as it's legal, that I don't like. I like them all. So if you have a gallery that's working and it's only giving you $10,000 or $15,000 a year of revenue, that's fine. You just can't have it at the exclusion of the other two. So let's talk about the other two. The other two, number one, or I guess number two, be a road warrior. Totally a viable path. What is a road warrior? A road warrior is someone that does anywhere from 25 to 35, 45 shows a year. The booth, set up, the fair, and show circuit. Sometimes it's farmers markets, breweries, get creative if you like, but you're on your feet those hours a day, and you're selling. And totally a viable way to do it. Totally an amazing way to do it. I think if I was giving advice to, myself, and let's say I was an artist and I was 20, I'd be like, dude, you don't have a wife, you don't have kids, you don't have a mortgage. You can afford to do this right now for the next 10 years of your life. Just be smart, capture as many leads as possible, and make sure you market to them. Totally a viable way to get there. But for most people, it's not, because we have lives. We have families, we have the aforementioned mortgage and pets and everything else, and we don't want to be away from our families every single solitary weekend. It's a hard life. So the third way is selling direct. It's selling direct, maintaining all the information on your customers, doing all the regular and consistent marketing all year long, which no one wants to do. Trust me, I get that. And having the perspective of how long it's going to take you doing that to build a viable business, and it's years. It's years. And no one talks about that either. There's everyone looking for the shortcut, looking for the 6-minute abs, looking for I've been marketing for 2 weeks, why isn't my business exploding, right? And in all the time, like all the years running these webinars, talking to people all over this country, all over other countries, I haven't heard of another viable solution. Like, I've talked to so many people that are on Saatchi or Fine Art America, or Redbubble or Etsy. Not a single solitary one of all of those people have I heard making more than like $50,000 or $60,000 or $70,000. And they were the minority. That's like 1 out of 1,000 that tells me that story. And I think, embedded in all of that is a really important lesson. And the lesson is like, all of you guys want to have a thriving art business. And you have to understand, you have to come to terms with the fact that a thriving art business is 2 trains with 2 tracks. There's you doing the creating, your art, your photography, your brush, your pencil, you and the lens, whatever you're doing, and how good you're going to get at that, and what subject matter materials you're going to test out, and all of that. And your job is to keep that train on the track and keep it moving. The other is learning how to market and get attention for the art in today's day and age. And that is a separate train on a separate track, and there is no one that's going to drive it for you. There's not. Everybody runs around looking for someone. Can I hire someone? Can I pay someone? I have yet to see anybody pull that one off. And when you come to terms with all of that, it's actually kind of liberating, because you realize where we stand, the world that we're in right now, 2023, there has never been a better time to be an artist or photographer, not ever once, not ever in history. And the reason is the democratization of the flattening of this entire planet as a result of the internet. The utter, total, and complete obliteration of any gatekeepers holding you back or, calling the shots on what you can and what you can't do as an artist. And that is phenomenal. The rub is that you have to do the marketing. And it's not fun, and none of you want to do it. And all artists and all photographers, again, I talk to thousands, treat their marketing like the New Year's resolution. You sign up for the gym in January. This is going to be my year. You're going 4 days a week. You're starting to feel great. April rolls around and you haven't been once. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You wake up and you're like, why isn't my art career gone anywhere? And I see it time and time and time and time again. And so Art Storefronts is a business over the years. It's taken us a while to learn this lesson, and we've learned it the hard way a million different ways. It's like, You know, everyone, what's the comment I get on social media? I think I even titled this thing today, like, no one in this entire Zoom has a website problem. Not a one of you. Not a one of you. If I'm the genie and I just came out of the lamp, and I will, you tell me where you want me to move that website. Boom, it's done overnight. 2 seconds, it's there. All your art, looking beautiful, wherever you want it to be. Us, Squarespace, whatever, Shopify, any of them. Do you know what's going to change in your business as a result of that? Absolutely nothing. It's like you owning the prettiest restaurant in the world and no one is coming in and no one has made a reservation. So you don't have the website problem. None of you do. I mean, you need to have one, but the problem is the marketing problem, and that is the issue that we have set ourselves the task of attempting to solve as a business and morphed as a business and over the last 5 years. And I've come to realize that solving it is sort of a multi-pronged approach, attack, if you like. One, we have to teach you how to do it. Okay, very, very important, and that's equally important on what you need to be working on, what you need to be focusing on. Two, we need to keep you accountable and motivated, okay, and supported and accountable. Did I say accountable already? And accountable to not quitting and continuing to take that journey the entire time. Very, very important. And then we need to give you weekly check-ins. It's kind of like, I'm not trying to be pontificate here at all, but like when you grow up Christian and you're going to church all the time, and it turns out as a result of the fact that you keep getting fed what you should be doing, you probably live a little bit better of a human life, and then you stop going for a while, and the next thing you know, you start letting a little air out of the rear tire, getting sideways on some turns, that kind of a thing, right? So you have to have this like accountability and support. And we launched something right when COVID hit for our customers, and I actually think it's the biggest differentiating feature that we have, okay? And it's called Office Hours. And what is Office Hours? It is 5 times weekly Zoom sessions with pretty much the entire marketing staff and entire executive team of our entire company. And we put you in a Zoom like this on a week in, week out basis. You ask questions. And I've got a video. I've never played this video, by the way, not once. Today's literally the first day. First day video day. Because it's recorded Zoom sessions, a couple of them are questionable quality, but I think it's just interesting to see it. So it's like the contrast in all of this, and before I share it, the contrast in all of this is like you choose these other places to do business, get a website, whatever. We have a ton of competitors, wonderful. And then when you sign up, that's it. You got all the value from that thing. Here you are, have that at good luck. Okay, maybe a couple of them have copied us and do it, like try to do something. With us, the minute you sign up, you're just getting started, and you are so utterly, totally, and completely supported in that journey. It's crazy. So here's 1 minute of questions, and my team edited it up. It's kind of.
Do I do the email and potentially send it to?
How do I capitalize on these people who are interacting with me on my personal page?
But what I want you to do in that custom artwork strategy is promote the pet portraits to that audience.
So how is it that the print cost is paid or charged?
How wide do we go in terms of niches?
Do you have any advice or playbook for showing your stuff on a coffee place?
How to make these reels more interactive.
How often should I be advertising and how much should I be spending?
How do I build enough followers to make things go in the sort of secondary stuff of
how is it working with social media now if even the word sex is used in a comment?
How to display that best so that it's more visible.
So should I be sending emails to my email list when I do giveaways?
How do I go about getting my work into galleries?
It does not happen overnight. It takes a ton of time to get good at this and figure out and learn things. All right, I usually have to answer those questions, so I can't sit through a minute of that. But you get the idea. Come to find out, those questions never stop arriving in your guys' minds. Should I be working on this? Should I be doing this? What should I do here? What should I do there? And we've just found that that's pretty much the biggest differentiator of what we do at this point in time. As far as I'm concerned, it is. Because every single solitary week, 5 days a week, 6 days a week sometimes, you can come in, get your questions answered, hear what a bunch of your peers' questions are, learn collectively, and keep going. And it's so much more valuable at the end of the day than a website, right? Like, it just is. You know, art sales for most folks are not super high volume. Like, I could make an argument, and again, I don't pull punches here. We have the best art selling website that exists on the planet. I could care less. You could have a web page with a bunch of buttons that says contact me, because when you're not selling high volume, all you're looking to do is start a conversation. Get somebody on a phone call, get somebody on a Zoom call, talk about the art and try to get the sale over the line, right? But that support, that emotional support, encouragement, sometimes we resort to bribery, mild levels of harassment, whatever it takes to keep you motivated, to keep you working, to not stop, right? To crash through the quitting points where everyone else is like, this is not working, and you quit, is the most important thing. And I firmly believe, like, if you stick to it and you stay at it and you can get through the first couple of years, assuming you've never done any marketing at all, everyone has got a great shot at actually building an art or photography business that works for them. They really do. But you have to avoid the shiny objects. You have to avoid the nonsense. And you have to focus on the stuff that's important. You just do. Okay? You just do. But that's what we teach all day long. That's what we do all day long. I think it's a huge differentiating factor. I think it's what sets us apart from everyone else. I think it's why we cost what we do and why we're so damn expensive, because you have to have an army of people that are in there to do that for you all the time and never stop. Never, ever stop. But like I said, it's been an interesting journey, and it is kind of exciting that we've got to the point now, 10 years in, where we've had some customers with us for 5 to 6 or 7 to 8 years. We've had some customers that have sold well into the millions dollars worth of art that are doing $100,000 a month in art, right? All the way down to ones that are struggling and trying to figure it out and trying to figure out their niche and everything else. But all of that's all good as long as you keep the marketing train on the track, keep learning, keep growing, and don't stop. And that's sort of our POV on the entire thing. Sort of an interesting rant. I didn't really see it going there, but it worked out. So we can open it up to Q&A. How does that work? If you're one of the brave ones that has a camera on, all you have to do is the old school hand raise. I'll see that. Okay, there's only 3 of you, so I'm not going to miss that. For everyone else, though, at the bottom of your Zoom window, there's this little smiley face thing. You see how it says reactions? You can click that. You can raise your hand digitally speaking. That lets me know you have a question. I can unmute you, bring you on. You can ask anything about anything at all. Happy to answer, whether it has anything to do with us or not. You know, if you're struggling with something, I'd love to hear about what you think you're struggling with and then try to get you sorted. We could talk about Instagram, really just dealer's choice, wherever you guys like to take it. You can also avail yourself of the chat. There's a little chat bubble. You can throw questions in there. If you don't want to turn your camera on, you do not have to turn your camera on, okay? I have a face for radio. I hate to be on video, but this is my job, so that's what I have to do. And yeah, it takes just one brave one, too, to kick us off. See, Holly, that's what I'm talking about. Holly was laughing at my jokes, too, so I feel like I was working there.
First of all, you could be a stand-up comedian.
Thank you.
You're so fun.
Oh, thank you.
And everything you said is 100% accurate. When I was talking with Nate, I said, if I hire you guys, it's because I need someone to keep me accountable.
Yeah.
And I know where my weakness is, which is also part of my hesitancy. So
it's not just your weakness, Holly. It's like all artists' weakness.
Well, it's also my, because I want to focus on the work. But we're on the same page. We don't need to beat that dead horse.
Yeah.
So my question has to do with how do you assist in the marketing with finding emails? Because what I shared with Nate is even when I was a little kid in the Girl Scouts, I didn't want to knock on the doors to ask. Like, I fucking hate it. I would rather buy all the things myself than do that.
For sure. I know that personality. You're gonna have to get over it. Okay. It's a step-by-step journey. It takes some time. We will trick you and your brain into learning to like it. It will not happen overnight. But the email question is a good one. So it's a combination of everything, okay? And it's not any one thing. We have a number of different tactics and strategies, both in the digital world and in the real world, right? And it's the combination of all of them all throughout the year. And yes, it's the capture on your website. Yes, it's when you market socially and ask for them. Yes, it is when you email and say forward to a friend. Yes, it's when a QR code gets scanned because your work is hanging in a doctor's office or a cafe, or you want to put a QR code on your car. One of the really helpful tricks early on is this is essentially what I call the real secret formula to Facebook and Instagram ads for artists and photographers. Step number 1, do not run Facebook and Instagram ads. You will light that money on fire. Step 2, understand the loop. Okay? This is the loop. Hey guys, I'm feeling in a good mood. So I'm feeling like I am going to give away a free print. It is this whatever by whatever size canvas gallery wrap. Okay. You can see it's ready to hang on the wall. To enter to win, all you have to do is go here, enter your email address, and I am going to pick one magic winner out of the hat. The winner will be announced this Saturday. And you run that. And then you pick the name out of the hat. Then you email all those folks and announce the winner. And then you say, for everyone else, I don't ever win anything either. So as a way of saying thanks for entering, please take 15% off store-wide for the next 48 hours. That is the loop, okay? And the loop works just about everywhere. It works in the real world. It works in the digital world. It works when you find someone else that has a large following, and maybe I'll touch on that in a second. And it is about 1,000 times more effective than running a Facebook or an Instagram ad. It is just an ad. Instead of you paying the money to Facebook and Instagram, you are paying the money to the printer that is going to print and ship that thing to the winner. And it is insanely, insanely effective. It works in a charity context. You have a friend that has 100 million followers on Instagram, and you're like, hey, friend, here's a print to give away because your audience loves following you, and this is a fun way to spice up the day. They go and run it. You get into the comments and you reply to all of them. Go to my website, go to my website, go to my website. So the point is the loop works 100% of the time. It's tried. You're doing an in-person Therapy show, right? And I do recommend my customers do this, 2 or 3 a year. You don't have to do hundreds, but they're great ways to learn. It could be the farmer's market, it could be at a brewery, it could be, fake a garage sale in your front yard. I don't care how you do it. And then put the art there. I'm not kidding. It's a great tactic and it's free. And you don't have to leave and you want to get that crap out of your garage anyway. Your significant other will be on board. So you put out the fishbowl. And you're like, enter to win a free print. And everyone drops their emails in. And then you announce the winner. So it works everywhere. So we have a number of different little techniques and tactics like that. And it just doesn't ever stop. And then also, too, what you find is as you go through this miserable process of learning how to market and get better at it, you start building momentum, right? That tiny little snowball as it goes downhill starts getting a little bit, well, maybe it goes uphill and downhill and every which way, but it gets easier. And then all of a sudden more people are visiting your site and you're getting recommended and you're having conversations in your Instagram DM box and you're constantly just getting more emails, but it never stops. I had a meeting, Art Storefronts has like 675,000 people on the email list. You know what we were meeting about earlier this week? How are we going to get more email addresses? It doesn't ever stop, right? Like, it's the currency of the land aside from a customer, the next most valuable because you at least own it.
So question with the email.
Yeah.
The 670,000 people on the email.
Yeah.
Do they get our info or is it, so I'm adding to that list or no my email list?
No. Your list is yours alone. Yours alone. And that's the only thing that works. Like collector lists are the biggest bunch of bullshit in the history of mankind. An art purchase is 50-50. That's 50% the work and 50% the person getting bonded with the artist, who they are, what makes them tick, their story. And so the right. Notion that like, oh, here's a list of art collectors, like, yeah, you might get a couple attention, but then you still have to go through the whole romancing process of them getting to know you, learning about you, figuring out, getting bonded, and then the purchase has happened. It's not just like, oh, I'm an art collector. Let me see some new art. Okay, buy it. Let's go. Not how it happens. So yeah. Your list is your list. Our list is just a bunch of artists and photographers. You wouldn't want it anyway. What is the number one complaint I get from my customers? I have a really good following on social media, and it's all artists following me. What can I do? Because that's what you guys do all day. You all just follow each other. It's a disaster out there. I mean, it's just part of the game, but yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
I have to take a stab at the last name because it's interesting. I'm contemplating it right now.
Don't make it nice.
Ho Jeffers.
That's too nice.
Ho Jeffers. Ha Jeffers?
Hawks Jeffers.
Hawks Jeffers. H-A-U-X is Hawks in this capacity? Where did that name come from?
It's German.
Hawks Jeffers. Never close. Well, you've never had to tell anyone how to pronounce that.
No, that was my telemarketing back in the day. If you couldn't pronounce my name, you didn't know me, I didn't pick up.
Oh, genius. See, got to make it work for you. We all have our little things, right? You got to make it work for you. Well, wonderful. Hope to see you sign up, Holly, with no other reason. You get my humor, and it'll always be good to have another laughing face on the inside. Thanks. Who else, guys? Questions, comments, concerns? Yep, Cynthia, I got you. You just need to unmute Cynthia, mic icon, bottom left-hand corner. Gotcha.
Hey.
Hi.
So I'm a product designer.
Okay.
And I've always been a painter, but I've started painting a lot more.
Okay.
To take care of my product design boredom.
Yep.
And I'm teasing. It takes a long time to move product design along.
Yeah.
And
what kind of products? Just because I'm curious.
Like
software
right now,
or like shoes? What?
No, furniture.
Furniture.
And lighting.
Awesome.
So I've done a lot of work for big companies like Restoration Hardware and Arterials.
Cool.
And it's great, but they take a long time, these products, to develop.
Yeah.
So I've been painting a lot,
mm-hmm.
and I've been painting a lot more, and I've been doing commissions, and I've been in a few galleries. But I really want to get that ramped up more, and I've got, developed quite a body of work, but haven't really gotten out there, so to speak. But getting there, and just wondering what the starting level is with Art Storefronts.
Yeah, I think the starting level part is nonsense. And let me tell you, because all just get started when. And don't take it cynically. I don't mean you need to sign up with us, honestly.
No, it's okay.
All just get started when I know what my niche is, when I have 12 pieces together, when I get the business bank account set up. And I see that all the time, and the days turn into weeks, turn into years. How's that art business coming, right? Force yourself to start, whether it's with us or starting an Instagram account and trying to take orders immediately. Okay?
No, I mean, like, you guys have different levels of...
Yeah, you can go up and down a level,
packages.
Upgrade a level, downgrade a level at any point in time. Not like,
How does that work? Because it doesn't... you guys don't have any information, so I don't know what it is.
Oh, when you have you talked to somebody on the phone?
No.
Oh, yeah. So what happens is that you fill out that annoying form on our website, and then they'll call you, and then they'll take you through all the plans, all the packages, all the bells, all the whistles, and you can pick whatever plan you want. Some have more bells and whistles than others. Holly will tell you. Holly probably knows better than I do. She'll tell you about it. Holly, tell her what the plans and packages are.
Well, so I was just going to say, do sign up. I spoke to Nate yesterday. He spent 2 hours with me going through all those forms. And then I said, good thing you recorded this so I can look at it again. Then I spoke to him again today, and I had said, the marketing part for me, I know that about myself. I know that's where I'm going to fall down. Like you, I make the art. That's not a problem. I have a studio and people walk through. That's cool. But it's getting the momentum and to keep that going. And so I wanted to do the webinar because I wanted to see what Patrick had to say, how they support. And so there's 3 different tiers. Bronze, silver, and gold, which is brilliant marketing, you guys, because who wants to sign up to be bronze?
It would be brilliant if the damn thing was on the website explicitly spelled out. Okay, I've been fighting this war internally for like 10 years. And like it's a thing in SaaS. SaaS is software as a service, like subscription software, that like you don't put prices. You say contact us or give us a demo. It infuriates me. I think it should just be on the website. So, but thank you. I appreciate you explaining.
So I love that it was on there. And I would encourage you to talk to Nate and ask whatever questions you think of and show him your work, all that. This for me, I wanted to talk to Patrick just to see what I was going to do with the marketing, because I'm definitely going to go for the gold. And I'm trying to gauge how much support I think I'll need. Do I want to start off with 6 months or a year? So that's why I was here with Patrick. But sign up and they'll email you and call you, and you can ask whatever questions you want. And it was great.
And I assure you, Holly is not a paid contributor to this operation.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
Are you going to give me?
I'm still a product designer, so it's not like I'm, I mean, I paint like probably 4 days or so a week, but I don't crank it out. It's not like I'm Picasso.
Right. No, it doesn't matter, because you can you can get a beautiful photo of that. And if you want to, you could offer it as a print and it'll be less. So Nate, so you can, when you talk to him, you'll see. And I'm an artist with a studio. I have originals. Sometimes I do prints. There are a lot of different ways you can do that. But, the beauty is if you create your work, get some good photos of it, and maybe you don't want to do any prints, right? That's a different thing. That's a whole other ball game. But there are so many different things that you can do. I'm a painter, I do graphics, I'm a photographer, I do other things. So you can accommodate all of that. You don't have to be cranking out tons of work, but you can. It's, but if you have work that you like, that you want to share, that's what it is.
Yeah. And and thank you, Holly. My take on it, Cynthia, is different than that. My take on it is, don't wait to start taking forward steps. And again, do not take it cynically. I don't care if you sign up for Art Storefronts or not. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have you there. But my point is that don't just keep painting, and don't start building the Instagram account, and don't start showing the people the work, and don't start letting people know that, hey, this is available. And don't start capturing email addresses, because you're going to have a ton of those opportunities. And my guess is that given the furniture you likely have in your house, merchandising work on the walls is not going to be a struggle for you with all these lights and everything else that you design. So I would not wait. I would at least make a personal commitment to say, I obviously want to do this later. I'm not going to be designing products for the rest of my life unless I really want to be. So I might as well start taking some forward steps now. That is my position. Like, don't wait, right?
Yeah. Well, the good thing about product design is you get royalties.
We like that.
Yeah.
See my aforementioned comment about never met a revenue source I don't like, as long as it's legal.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, so we have buttons all over the
world. Nate.
Well, yeah. If you want, I will have somebody follow up with you. I already have your email address.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Ad Strambo has said in the chat here, do I have anything interesting to address, or just beating around the bush? Little critical there, Ad. Little critical there. Anyway, I will have somebody reach out to you, Cynthia, and don't worry about it. Sound good?
All right then.
Yeah, and I like the wainscoting operation going on back there behind you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sitting on Michigan, why not, right?
Yeah, you have to. You have to. It's good summer living there. It's good summer living. Thanks. And I actually want to. Now I'm curious about seeing the lights. If you sign up, I'm gonna need to see the light collection. I kind of like fancy lights. Actually, I muted you, so I don't know if you're gonna say a follow up at that. I think she's still muted. That's okay. If you have a follow up, you can jump in.
Oh,
all right.
tripdesign.com.
What is it? Trip.
Tripdesign.com.
Does anyone else want to take a look? I kind of want to take a look.
Take a look. That'll explain why I haven't been painting as much.
Yep. We'll go, and then Vanina will get your question. So Trip Design, image, essence, oh, I got to get this up. I forgot. My kids destroyed all my buttons. Capturing the soul of brand. By the way, do you know how damn distracting this is? God, this is why you guys building your own websites, left to your own designs, is a damn disaster. This is giving me honestly post-traumatic stress right now. Just looking at that.
Okay, well, get over it.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it. Where should I start? Brand design, branding, hospitality, healthcare.
Go to product design. Go to Rocky Mountain Hardware. There you go. Go scroll down.
Oh, those are jazzy for sure. Yep. Oh, that one's cool too in the background.
Keep going. There's some more lights.
Very cool. I'm definitely vibing this one right there.
That one's cool. There's a cooler one that's a chandelier. There it is right there.
Oh, that's cool too. Very awesome. Okay, you sign up. I want the employee discount on one of these. I'm showing these to my wife tonight.
All right, there you go.
Done. Deal. All right. Benita, you're up. Go ahead, Benita.
Hello, how you doing? I'm so brand new, but I have about 50 or so watercolor paintings and some other graphite things that I've done. And I'm a veteran, and I also run a homestead kind of with my husband. So we're really busy, and I'm lucky if I can even paint once a week. Yeah. So that's kind of the problem sometimes, but I do absolutely adore it. And when I do it, I'm very concentrated on it. So I'm really excited about all the things that I saw here, and the fact that there's so many different kinds of artists that are able to showcase their stuff through you. I guess the hardest thing I might have a problem with is that I don't have any kind of website or following anywhere. So I'd have to start from scratch, but I know how to do that. I was in the Army for 15 years, so I can handle just about anything. So.
That's right. And God bless you for your service.
Wow.
Very much appreciated.
Thanks.
I think there was a question in there. Or was there a question in there? But my advice to you is the exact same as it was to Cynthia's. Like, I just don't want to see you wait, right? You know,
No.
it's a scenario where this is like the most dangerous loop that exists, which is I create work. I don't show it to anyone except my significant other. I never get any feedback on it. I never find out if it'll sell. And then I'm like, okay, I'm bored with that. I'm going to go create the next piece of work. And it just happens again and again and again and again and again. And then you don't ever find out if you're on the right track, right? Like, we all create based on what we enjoy doing, but we need to get the feedback to find out whether or not we're on the right track if we have aspirations to turn it into a business. And so that is my like emphasis on don't wait, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree that I've been waiting to put out products for a while and trying to figure out how I can do that
I want a garage sale on the homestead. One day only. Let's go.
I have garage sales here. Actually, we have a 100-mile long roller coaster yard sale that goes through right in front of our house. So we're kind of that way, but we do have those availabilities. So I think that's very smart to keep rolling on that. I guess I want to know how quickly you can get started and start getting a print that you can show up in a reel or wherever or send to somebody.
Immediately. You get it in 3 days, 4 days.
Awesome. How do you go about scanning the best or taking a really good quality photo of your work in order to get it, captured? Right.
Yeah. Great question. So there's a couple of different ways to answer this. And Andrea had this question in the chat too. So it's a 2-for-1. I personally do not open the bank account until you have a check addressed to your name. Do not ever worry about how you're going to ship a product until you have the order. Definitely do not worry about how you're going to ship a product internationally until you get an international order, okay? Because these are the nonsense things that people focus on and spend so much time on. So what would I do? I would take photos of all the work with my iPhone, throw all of the items up on my website, and go try to sell them. When the order came in, I'd be like, hey, just to let you know, I'm going to get this work professionally photographed. Your order will take a couple more days. I'll take an extra 10% off. Hang up, and then go figure out how to do it. How you're going to do it is go onto Craigslist and say, looking for someone that has experience in photographing art for reproduction. If that's you, reply to this thing. Most major and minor cities will get approximately like 30 or 40 people saying that they've done that before. They come to the house. They charge anywhere from $20 to $30 to $40 a piece, and they just go assembly line. They set up the camera, they set up the lights, they know what they're doing, hangs it up, shoot it, done. Don't ever have to do it again. Shoot it, done, don't ever have to do it again. So there's that. You can also take them to places to get professionally scanned, but I highly recommend that just finding someone on Craigslist to do it. And don't, like, I have this really in-depth article. We have this guy that's a customer that used to do all the photos for Christie's, right? For archiving and I don't know if Christie's reproduces or not, but anyway, he's very, very good at it. And he wrote this in-depth article, but for $20 or $35 a shot, like, just have somebody come to the house, just knock it out, right? Like, have it all done at once, and then you're good. And then once you have it, you can reproduce that image for forever, right? In perpetuity. And you could use an iPhone photo too if you set it up correctly. It just limits how big you can go, right? But the cool thing is our software tells you instantaneously. So you upload the photo, and you don't even have to do that anymore. Now we do it for you. And the system does its thing, analyzes all the pixels, and it says, okay, here are the sizes you can output on this. If you're happy with that, you're good. If not, then go get it professionally photographed, and you can open up some bigger sizes, So that's kind of how I like to approach it.
Yeah, I talked to a local print shop to try to figure out how hard it would be to do like some holiday cards and other things. And the hardest thing is trying to capture all the nuances of a watercolor artwork into a print.
Nonsense.
By myself, I meant myself.
Oh,
that's why I was trying to find somebody to do it. So it was quite expensive. It was like, $47 or something just for them to look at four things. So I did, and they were small.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a print shop that'll charge a little bit more. Like if you're just delivering, boom, the digital file, then the print shop prints it, and they're not gonna do any pushback. But it's not a huge issue. Everyone gets it done. Just kind of part of the deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was helpful.
Done. Awesome. All right. What else? Andrea, I might as well unmute you. Do you have additional questions? Do you have discounts either?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a lot of questions, actually.
All right. Well, I hope I got answers.
Okay, so copyright. I
Yes.
know when you post on Instagram, they actually have a right to reuse your images. And I
Uh,
give them very low quality,
uh,
very small pieces, but
uh.
I actually have huge pieces. Do you guys do anything to protect the size once you're working on our website, or is that something we need to pre-size?
No, 100%. We do everything that we can to protect the size, which doesn't protect you in the slightest. I mean, with the technology today, if there is an image that is on a website, software can go and get it. Software can resample it, upscale it, and print it out gigantic. But it just doesn't happen.
Really?
It just
So we don't bother doing small DPIs or anything
you've
like
got
that anymore.
99 problems, and that is not one. That is not one,
Mm.
right? Like the copywriting thing, like it is just such a myth. It doesn't happen. Now, there is a legitimate argument that says these new AIs are going and scanning every single solitary bit of material on the internet and then repurposing it to create new images. But how are we ever going to find out about that? So it's just one of those things you don't stress about. I've had like 10,000 people talk to me. 10,000 about terrified about copyright, terrified about their image being reproduced. And then everyone always has a story how their artwork got stolen. And by the time I chase it down, which I like literally chase these things down now because I want to get to one that was like absolutely substantial. And the best that I've seen is one person's artwork got stolen and somebody made 30 t-shirts with it. And the t-shirts look like garbage. And I'm not even sure they sold any of them. So it's like, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen in any, it's kind of like, how worried are you about dying from a bee sting or dying from a shark attack right now? Right? Like those are what the odds of worried about any. So just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of where Holly is as far as being in front of a camera or doing any kind of videos to sell my art. I used to go to galleries and I got in several galleries years ago and was selling there, but I'm not really ready to knock down doors. I'm hoping there are some alternative ways that you guys market other than video chat. I have a radio face like you, Patrick.
Well,
apparently.
I trust me. Prior to COVID, you never saw mine. And then I finally got contrarian, and now I just roll along with it. You should hear the things I get called in the social media comments. But I've got thick skin. I get over it. I mean, you know, the thing that we have to learn to be contrarian about, like, you know, I'm a digital marketing expert and a social media expert. Do you know how much I post personally on social media? Nothing. I hate the social media sites, okay? I despise them. But I'm contrarian enough to know that that's where the attention is. If we were fishermen, you and I, we would drive our ass down to the docks in the morning, get on the boat, and go and drive it to where the fish are. And that's the age that we live in. And you know, again, there's the good with the bad, right? Like, the amazing thing is how quickly you can grow and scale an art business versus the old days when we were geographically limited to our town. Do you know how long it took? You know how long it took? Like the grind.
I know. That's when I was in it.
Yeah.
That's when I was in it. How
So
long
much
it took.
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So live support, that's the other concern that I have is a lot of, you know, companies will sign you up for things and then you never hear from them. I'm assuming that there is more support the higher you go up in the bronze, silver, gold.
Not even the higher you go up on all levels. Like our support is one of the greatest things that we have, period. And there's nothing that comes even close to it. Like every single solitary day, we have Zoom sessions for every one of our products that you can jump into. Like even you know, we run office hours. It's kind of like this, except teaching on a specific topic and then answering marketing questions, right? So less about like, oh, what do you guys do at Art Storefronts? More about marketing questions. And Zoom has this feature that they released recently called breakout rooms. It's really kind of cool. It's essentially just a Zoom session inside of a Zoom session. And every office hours session, so 5 days a week, you look at the calendar, you're like, hey, I've got a problem with a fulfillment issue or a tech issue or a marketing issue or a co-pilot issue. And I haven't even talked about that. I don't want to talk about it, but you can jump right in, get into Zoom. There's usually at most these days 2 or 3 people in line. Sometimes you're the first one in line. And then you ask a real person. They can look at your screen, take over your screen, get the doggone thing fixed, open a ticket. Like our support's insane. It genuinely is insane. And if you read through any of our reviews, you'll see.
And then I already have a website. So what happens, you guys, one of the things that you've been advertising is that you build the website. If you already have one, do you just take it over? And is it mine's managed by GoDaddy? So would that be a problem?
No, so GoDaddy is, there's 2 parts to a website. There's where's the domain live, right? And let's say it's AndreaEvansonArt.com, right? So where does that domain live? It sounds like that lives on GoDaddy. and then there's where you
But
host
it's-
your website. It
yeah.
sounds like you did that with GoDaddy.
That's who
too.
manages it. Yeah.
So what you would do is you would just take the GoDaddy address and point it to us instead of GoDaddy, and that's how it would work. It instantaneously.
And I don't know how to do that. I'm assuming you guys do.
Are you kidding me? No one knows how to do that. It is one of the worst technological nerdy things anyone's ever had to learn. And yes, we have people that specialize in it, and don't anyone tell me how it's done or ask me to do it. It infuriates me. Yes, we do it for you. Annoying.
Cool.
Yeah. I've done
Thank
it.
you.
I've done it before. You're welcome. I have done it before. And you do need to start turning your camera on, okay?
And I will, not today. Not today. I'm still my jammy.
I'm not saying you have to do it today.
But I will get on a call because I do want to ask some additional questions. I don't want to take up all these people's time. So they probably have different questions.
I want you to know that sounded like a firm maybe to me, but I will take it.
It was a firm maybe. Yeah, it was.
I will take
it. For sure. Thanks, you. Andrea.
All right, Vanina, you're back with another question. Holly, it looks like you went too. I'll come back to you. Don't worry.
Holly and I are laughing really hard at you. You're really hilarious. One of the things I wanted to ask is my husband and I collaborate on some things. Would this be able to be something that we can do as a dual?
100% all day long. Yeah. The artist owns everything with us, which is how it should be. It is your URL. It is your website. Technically, it's hosted on our servers and you pay us for it monthly, but it's your website. All of the contacts are yours, right? It is your bank account. Right? Like we don't even get in the middleman there. If you want to have 1,000 artists on there, yourself, whatever you want to do. And the other thing too is like our websites are all set up and geared for selling wall art, right? But they're also just e-commerce shopping carts. I've got customers selling so many interesting, weird things. You name it: music, crafts, sculpture, jewelry, knives, CDs, tours, classes, books. I mean, everything under the sun. So it's cool to have that, right? Like, and see my aforementioned comment about I don't care, what the revenue source is as long as it's legal, right? Like if something starts jumping off and like you've got some Vidalia onions growing in the backyard and people really want these things, you want to start putting the boxes up, like, let's go.
We got beats. Yeah, exactly. Tons of things. Anyway, that's what I want to know because he collaborates with me. So I just want to make sure like the revenue could just go together. That's 100%
fine. All day long. Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Vanita. I can't tell. Holly, did you have another one? Yeah, you did. Okay, gotcha. Go.
Thank you for the collaboration question because I was going to ask that too. That's great. I do have an Instagram account and I don't have a website, but I was actually thinking, and my Instagram account is not anything. So do you guys recommend we would like do a new one or do you keep that one?
No, keep that one. Keep that one. It's easier to start whatever it is, and we'll tell you all what to do in there and how to get it started, how to get it going. But at least you save yourself an hour of time setting the whole thing up and uploading some stuff, right? So yeah.
Well, and I'm glad that I don't have a website because I know that I would need your help.
Yeah. We decided it's been a year now since we started doing that, where we were looking at it, and actually, truth be told, anyone in the company will tell you, per usual. Okay, I've been pushing this idea for 5 years. And they're all like, no way we could do this. No way we could do this. I was like, yes, we can. Because do you know who should not be learning web design for dummies? Our customers. Just do it for them. And let them get to the hard thing, which is the misery of learning how to market. That's a problem enough as it is without having to do any web programming. So it's a cool thing to be able to offer, right? And on some plans, we have the free tech support for life. So you don't ever have to do anything. You just tell our people to do it and they will do it for you. But broadly speaking, there's not a ton of web work. Like the work's got to go up. The artist statement's got to go up, right? You got to fill in some links. You got to name the pieces, pick what media types you want. Okay, website's done. Get out there in the street and go tell people what's going on, right? So that's the ballgame.
Well, it's the link and the back end stuff that I'm glad you guys manage.
Yeah. All of it. But the building of it too. You don't have to build it. You realize that. Like you give us a folder of images, we build the entire thing, and then you go in and make edits, or you tell them to make edits, tell us to make edits, we make the edits, and that's that.
And I did want to say, Andrea, whatever question she had, I would like her to ask them because it might be a question that I don't even know I should be asking. You know what I'm saying?
That is what these sessions are for. A lot of times other people ask great questions and they're super, super helpful. So that's what I'd say. But we'll let you know if any furthers pop up. Thank you, Holly. Which is a great question. Any furthers? Otherwise, I can get right into my Instagram shipping. I I've been teaching a ton on Instagram recently because Instagram is so important, super, super important. You know, so one of the things that we do is we teach you how to do all the thises and the that's and the others and get good at it and really level up your marketing. So I actually have to do one right now. So I'm just going to make a reel right now. You're going to see my setup. You're actually going to see how easy this is to do, okay? And I do this all the time. I know what this person is looking like. Okay, good. So I'm going to click the little plus sign up here so my phone doesn't derp out. I'm going to go reel. No, something bad happened there. What happened? So I clicked the wrong thing. Here. Come on. Come on. My little demo phone's a little banged up here, and I'm going to go reel. Why is it doing that? Camera. Okay, there was in a weird mode. And despite the fact I have an actual green screen here because I have to do this for a living and present all the time, there is a green screen option in Instagram, which is incredibly powerful. So when you're making Instagram Reels, I don't have time to go into all the depths of the Instagram Reels, but we might as well end with something fun. So I'm going to make one of these. So I'm going to slide this thing to the side. And what Instagram has done is mimicked a real green screen scenario. And I'm going to change the background. Gives you all these generic images. And I've taken a screenshot of the aforementioned podcast because this thing just came out and people have been harassing me about it. And so I'm going to make one right now on the fly. Watch how quick this is. Okay, watch how quick this is. What's up, guys? Just released a brand new podcast episode with the incredibly talented Jonah Allen. And you need to listen to this episode for one reason alone. This kid has come up with a strategy that includes limited editions and starting selling conversations based on using the text, "Are you interested in a piece? Make me an offer." Now, he charges a lot of money for his pieces, $12,000, $13,000. And when he says make an offer, he's just looking to start a conversation, right? And he does this a couple of times a year where he's like, hey, make an offer, right? Unbelievably talented photographer, let alone salesperson. Incredible. One other technique that he talks about in this episode, which I think is really, really interesting, is he's got a retail gallery, his own work in the gallery, no one else. And he's constantly asking for deposits. Just get the deposit of $500 and let me hold it for you. And the reason that that works as a sales technique for him is because every piece that he does is limited edition. So I think there's some fantastic insights in that podcast episode. If you want me to send it to you here on Instagram, all you have to do is leave me a comment with his name. His name is Jonah. So just type that in the comment and I'll send you all the videos from the podcast. Next. Share. Done. In real time, I just did some marketing for the day. That wasn't that hard. You can do that. Andrew, did you see how easy that was? Even with my ugly face on that video camera, it's not that bad. It's not that hard to do. You could totally do that. And I just created an Instagram reel, which is very important. So what are you asking me? Can we only support printed products or we can sell? No. Yes, you sell all of it. All of the above. Andrew, yes, supports prints, the products, originals, limited editions, everything in between. So all of the above. What else? Yeah, you guys should come back to one of my ones, or if you sign up, you'll end up seeing them inside. But I'm going crazy on Instagram. And I should say as a final before we close out that the biggest art selling time of the year is coming. It comes around once a year. It's the biggest art selling time of the year. Every year, more art is sold in the fourth quarter than at any other quarter all year long, usually different quarters combined. And so you can't sign up for a marathon and then show up day of the race without running any little practice runs, right? I'm not suggesting anyone run a marathon. I don't know what's wrong with the miserable people that do that, and it sounds terrible. But I do understand that when you get something like that on the calendar, you start taking your diet a little bit more seriously. You start cutting back on the beers a little bit, and you start going out for those short little runs. And so it's really important that you treat Q4 that way. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the run up to Christmas, just the whole buying season, because it is the #1 time, if you've got art of photography, where you get this force multiplier of all this advertising money being spent in gifts and everything else. So that's coming. That's why it is a great time to get started, whether you get started with us or not. Start taking some positive steps in the business, and definitely subscribe to the podcast. Did I have this up the whole time? I hope I did. Did I have this up the whole time? Well, I did that whole thing and I didn't even show it. No one told me. I did the whole thing real time. Well, anyway, you can see it on my Instagram account. I'm not doing it again. That was annoying. I cannot believe I did that. I have like a huge monitor right above here, and I can't be bothered to look at it. This is the name of the podcast. It's called the Art Marketing Podcast. You can find it anywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, this one, that one, the other one, all the rest of them. So definitely check that out. And Sue in Facebook is asking, what POD companies do you integrate with? So we have 2 printers domestically in the United States. One is called Graphic Dimensions on the East Coast, which is, it's not a known brand name because they only do commercial jobs. And then the huge branded one is on the West Coast. It's called Bay Photo. And then for all the merch, we use Guten. And then for Canada, because apparently there's tariffs between Canada and the United States, like America's hat, like we're at war with these people. What the hell is going on? We have a separate printer up there called Print Partner that deals with all the Canadian stuff so people don't get hit with the taxes and the excise duty. I don't even, why do we have to have tariffs with Canada? Didn't we sign NAFTA? Like, what is the problem? It's like reverse discrimination or something. Don't need to get to the bottom of that immediately. Anyway, that's what I got. Guys, thanks for sticking it out. I will send you a replay of this. I will send you some other links to some this, that's, and the others, which are good reading, good follow-up. So Doug is asking me, do you have anything to say on all the websites that can list your art on their website, Art Business? Yeah, Doug, try them. They don't work. They don't work. You know, every artist is looking for the shortcut. Every artist is looking for the 6-minute abs. I saw that on Twitter today. I was reminded of that. There's no 6-minute abs, okay? There is pain and suffering and dieting, and then you get fit, right? And an art business is no different. So I don't think any of those things work, Doug. You're welcome to try them out, but it's just not a long-term sustainable way to go. But thank you guys for sticking it out with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you again on the inside, on the outside, podcast, Instagram Live, or somewhere, and appreciate all you guys. Thanks.